Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times and you're watching the quick charging test of the Realme Narzo 20 Pro. This is probably the most affordable smartphone right now in the market that is going to offer one of the fastest charging speeds in the entire market. So it's not just about flagships versus mid-rangers or any other smartphones charging speeds. This comes with the SuperDart fast charging, 65 watt fast charging support that was recently seen in a couple of Realme smartphones, first in the flagships and now in the Realme 7 Pro as well. Now, the Narzo series bringing in 65 watt is actually interesting because this would be something in the price range of 17 to 20,000 rupees where you're going to see these charging speeds, and the battery capacity isn't less. It's 4500 mAh battery, so the battery life is offered. And I mean, the battery that is offered is a good one and it would easily give a day's usage. But then for the fast charging enthusiasts who actually like the devices to be charged pretty quickly, how fast is this? So we're going to do a full test of 0 to 100%, and we have drained down the battery to 0%, and now we are going to do the charging test here. Now, initially it took just about 3 minutes and 18 seconds for the device to reach 10%, and then we took out the charge percentage of 16.5% at 5 minutes. So in just 5 minutes your phone is charging from 0 to 16.5%, which is not bad at all. And now moving on, the first 25% of charge was done in just about 7 minutes and 42 seconds. So moving on again, in 10 minutes the phone was charged up to 31.7%, which is quite interesting. 10 minutes of charge, you just want to quickly move out and you don't have a lot of time for the phone to charge, and it's almost zero, almost a low battery, and that's where 31% of charge is going to give you at least a few hours of usage pretty easily. Now moving on again, 15 minutes it gave to about 46.6% of charge, which is almost half the battery full. And now again we wanted to see how much exact time it takes to reach 50%, so it took 16 minutes and 9 seconds for that. 16 minutes to charge the battery to half, which is, I mean, really impressive. But we actually saw the Realme 7 Pro to charge a bit faster than this, which is again interesting because it's the same battery capacity, it's the same charger, but then there's some change in the circuit where we see the charging to be a little slow on the Narzo 20 Pro. But are we really complaining here? Because that's the speeds we are getting, which is not even, I mean, a half what we see on the other smartphones in this price range. So obviously we are still happy here. Now, moving on, in 20 minutes, the phone charged up to 60.9%, and in 25 minutes, the phone went up to 72.65%, which is almost 3/4 of the entire battery. So actual 3/4 is 75%, which the Narzo 20 Pro reached in 26 minutes and 5 seconds with that SuperDart charger. And in half an hour, the benchmark usually is in half an hour how much is your phone charging. We see some of the phones like the Poco smartphones or some of the Redmi smartphones as well, and some of the Realme ones, even the Realme 6 included, they charge up to 55%, somewhere around that in 30 minutes, and this one actually charged to 84%, and that's where the trickle charging actually started here. The trickle charge is where the charging speeds get lesser so that the battery is not damaged and the longevity of the battery is maintained there, and that's where the charging gets slower once it reaches 80%. So in 35 minutes the battery still went up to 93.3%, and then it actually slowed down. So 40 minutes is where we saw the battery reaching 98%, and since once it reached 99%, it was actually a very slow charge, and we actually could notice a 0.01% moving from one to the next one pretty clearly. And finally, this was the time when we saw the battery reaching 100%, though it did not reach 100% and ended there. It still takes some, I mean, almost a minute to charge it fully and then stop the charging. So for 100%, it was actually this amount of time, 42 minutes and 37 seconds to reach from 0 to 100 on the Realme Narzo 20 Pro. Quite impressive, I would say, actually quite impressive. And the Realme 7 Pro took about 39 minutes when I charged it and tested it from my side, but there's a difference of 2.5 minutes here. I would say that is because of some circuit changes, but again, in this price range we haven't seen most of the smartphones charging even almost half the speed, so obviously I'm pretty impressed and happy with this charging speeds. So that said, this was a quick charging test of the Realme Narzo 20 Pro with the 65 watt SuperDart charger that is given inside the box package of the Narzo 20 Pro. So So that's it guys. I hope you like this video. If you do, share and subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thanks for watching and see you next video.